Hey, it's Eric G. Around the House is sponsored by Baldwin Hardware. For 75 years, Baldwin Hardware has been known for its first-class quality and craftsmanship in door and cabinetry hardware. As an alumnus of the Baldwin Hardware Design Council, I can say I have seen the details and quality from design to the finished product. If you're looking for a new style and old-world craftsmanship, I can tell you there is only one Baldwin Hardware. Check out what would look great in your home at baldwinhardware.com.
It's Around the House. When it comes to remodeling and renovating your home, there is a lot to know, but we've got you covered. This is Around the House.
Welcome to the Around the House show. This is where we help you get the most out of your home through information and education. Thanks for joining us today. Hope everybody's having a great week and enjoying this fall, almost officially fall, but kind of meteorological fall, I guess, is what we're dealing with right now. Of course, we've got the solstice coming up, I believe, this weekend. So we're cruising into official fall, no matter how you look at it. But wanted to talk today about something that I have coming up on my TV show this weekend. But I wanted to give a little more detail about it because I didn't have a chance to talk about it on the show, on the radio show and podcast for the weekend. So I thought, hey, let's talk about it. And then you can see the video up on Saturday when it posts up on our YouTube page over at Fox 12 Oregon. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to do a challenge. I wanted to see if I could do a hot tub for under $2,000. Now, you know, hot tubs, you can go out and spend $10,000 or $12,000 really quick on a really nice one. But I thought, can I do one for maybe $1,500 to $2,000? And the answer, yes. And let me tell you how I did it. So the first thing that I did is I went on to, OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, started looking for a good used tub. And I wanted something that was pretty well cared for. And that was kind of the key, is to see something that, one, I could see running. I could see that it wasn't leaking. And number three, it looked like it would hold up in a move. And those, quite frankly, can be a pretty tough ask when you're looking on a place like Facebook Marketplace or even over there on OfferUp, because there's a lot of cheap tubs, but they've already been disconnected or they've already been drained, or I moved it last year. And, you know, the first thing I want to say is the biggest problem when you're looking at a used hot tub or spa is that if it's been disconnected and it's been frozen, you don't know till you get it home. And we had that situation on the first one I looked at. It was by my brother's house. So he went over and, you know, that's what family's for. They kicked butt, went over and picked it up from a friend of theirs and got it home to test it just to see if the water was in it. And it was all busted up. All the plumbing had frozen. And if you know good hot tubs, they are all foam encased underneath. And when you have foam, plastic pipe, wires, and it's all busted up, it's just not worth the effort. You're never going to get that thing back to right. So you're better off finding another one. So rule number one, make sure you find a hot tub that is running in good condition and you're verifying there's no leaks, right? That's the key. So I found one. And then second rule on that, after you get into that one, is how easy can it be moved, right? Does it have to go down a bunch of steps, around a deck, up these stairs? How far does it have to go? And so I had it where I could literally back my trailer up and we could get it up in there. And it was funny, I actually used my dump trailer to go get it because it worked out really well. I could actually use it. And, special thanks to Summit Trailers here in Oregon. They make great dump trailers and car trailers here in the Portland area. So I just love it. They sell all over the West Coast, but they're just a great company. But long story short, I used that to get it and get it back to the house. Well, I needed to carry it around back, and I had soft grass on one way, and I had a kind of a hill the other way, and I went, nope, I'm going to pay somebody. So that was my biggest cost, actually, was the $400 I spent for a moving company to carry it around back. And you know something? It was completely worth it. And then before that, though, I prepped the area. I didn't do concrete. I actually did a product called Easy Pad. And I tell you what, this worked out really well because the Easy Pad, you just level the ground out and it shows up and it's a composite pad and you bolt it together with screws and these kind of dog bone pieces and lay it in place and you're good to go, which is awesome. So I had the company move it back and then hooked up to electrical and off we went. Now, I had the luxury of having existing electrical, so that wasn't a problem because there had been a hot tub there at some point in the past. Not sure exactly where it was, but it was right in that area. So I had lucky there, but if you are out shopping for tubs, there's a lot of 110 tubs out there. So I think easily you could do this for under $2,000 with a 110 hot tub, even buying a nicer tub. Where it starts to get expensive is if you have to run electrical for it. You can spend a couple grand really easy if you're doing 220. And here's another tip too. On some of the tubs, they have fairly proprietary electrical panels, like Hot Springs and a few of the other related brands. They have a 2-breaker setup, which actually used to ship with the hot tub. So you want to make sure and get that if you have one of those. So make sure that when you're getting the tub that, hey, can I get the breaker box there that goes with it for the disconnect? Because some of those, especially in those Hot Spring brands, they came with that. But you can spend, even if you're pulling the permits yourself and doing it yourself, you can spend $800 on just the materials to do that. Now, a couple tips and tricks out there. When you're buying breakers and electrical and stuff like that, it used to be that the home centers were the cheapest place to buy it. That's not the case anymore. And I think they've lost so much money with theft that 1, they're locked up. 2, you're paying a premium for it now. So you can go on Amazon and get the exact same brand breaker, and you can go on and get the wire. So just an example, if it was a $130 breaker at Home Depot, on Amazon, you'll probably pay $85 or $90. And then you'll pay about 25% less for the wire over there as well. So something to consider. The big box stores are no longer using electrical wire to get electricians to come in and buy stuff. They used to get it, or they were selling it so cheap. That was kind of their lost leader. And now they're not doing that anymore. And I think it's one of the reasons why is it's hard to find somebody in the store to open up the wire cage for you. And you have to track somebody down to get a breaker or that kind of thing. So I think you're seeing a switch there that used to be the cheap place to get it. Now, not so much. So something to consider there. Now, the next thing I want you to think about with this is that, the nicer the tub that you get, the more potential problems you have. So if you've got the sound system and the 4 control panels and stuff, before you go buy that tub, get the model number, call the manufacturer, and make sure those parts are available. Because water and electronics, they only have a lifespan of so far. So you might be better off getting an older tub that uses more dials and a simpler control panel that can be easily repaired versus some of these where, we've upgraded. We don't make that control panel anymore. And that's where you run into problems. And then you have a tub that you can't fix. So find out, get a name brand tub, talk to the manufacturer with that model number before you go buy it, and make sure there's replacement parts for it. And then you'll be a lot better off. So that's one of the things I want you to consider when looking at that, is making sure that you can get the parts needed to repair it without having to go in and do a whole bunch of stuff and trying to retrofit something into something newer. So consider that as part of your homework when you're out there buying tubs. But you know something? You can do a hot tub for under $2,000 if you do it right. And I tell you what, it is a wonderful working hot tub. And with my back pull that I got last week, it has really been helping me try to heal up on the best sides of things. So, and that is good. And hey, I wanted to give a shout out here to a buddy that just passed away, who was a former radio show host that came on after my show in Portland. And a shout out goes out to Bruce Bjorkman, Mr. Barbecue. He used to run a show there in Portland for a number of years here on the air. And my condolences to his wife, Sandy. He passed away here this last week. So my thoughts and heart go out to Mr. Barbecue, because you were always good to me. And I was just talking to you last month, and You know, we weren't the best of friends, but I tell you what, he knew his barbecue stuff, and he was a good guy. So hats off to you, my friend, and condolences to the family and friends out there that I know are suffering today. All right, everybody, have a great rest of the week. I am going to be posting up here later this week our first exclusive episode, and I just got to get it finished, edited up. I sat down with my buddy JT, who took over Bruce's spot on the radio with his own show called Barbecue Nation, but we do a dive into who's Eric G., who am I, and my history. And we even get into some juicy stuff out there. So there's some trials and tribulations, but that'll be over on the exclusive side of the podcast. And head over to aroundthehouseonline.com if you want to sign up for that. And I'll put the show notes down below. It's come on, guys. It's under a cup of coffee for an entire month, and you get exclusive access to stuff like that. So if you're interested, that's where you find it. All right, everybody, have a great rest of the week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Around the House.
Undiscovered, anywhere beyond the mean. Life is a love song, let's be lovers. We're all over the radio. Take my hand, I know where to go. All over the radio with you.
Hey, it's Eric G. from Around the House. Are you planning a decking or siding project this year? If you are, you've got to check out my friends at Millboard. Millboard is a completely different kind of composite decking and cladding that enhances outdoor spaces with enduring distinction. Hand-molded from the finest oak, it realistically mimics the natural grain and color of premium hardwood. If you're looking for something that doesn't look like plastic and instead real wood, check out millboard.com. Make sure and check out that interview we did just a few weeks back. That's millboard.com.